So believe it or not, the egghead himself, Triple H, has a plan to do The Rock versus Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title at WrestleMania 41. And this idea sounds absolutely stupid. This is something that's not confirmed yet, okay? I will note that, but the fact that this is even in the pipeline for ideas for Mania that they're taking seriously is insane. Now, before I get to why this idea is absolutely ridiculous and why I think it's awful, I just quickly want to say that Triple H, or Paul Levesque now, the Chief Content Creating Officer now, as I'm going to start referring to this guy because he's corporate now, right? This guy is now or he appears to be an absolute wimp who just pretty much takes anything the internet gives him or, Saudi Arabia gives him, for example, with Crown Jewel. Instead of getting the introduction of a women's mid-card championship or a continuation of the guy who's supposed to be the number one, they're telling us he's the number one guy, the North Star of the wrestling division, Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly, I respect you, Hunter, Mr. Cody Rhodes, right, your WWE champion, instead of giving him a great payoff for his feud with Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel in a crazy match or something like that, and maybe giving him one decent feud out of this awful title reign, instead we're just going to get a match with him and Gunther for the Crown Jewel title, which is a one-time championship that no one is going to care about outside of one night in the year, which is at Crown Jewel. Neither Gunther or Cody is going to hold this championship on an episode of Raw or SmackDown. We're probably not going to see it again until next year. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. And on top of that, even if you're going to go with the Crown Jewel belt, you could have had all the main champions involved. You could have had NXT come in with Trick Williams versus Cody versus Gunther, or Roxanne versus, Liv versus Nia Jax. You could have done all that, at least elevated NXT, get something from this for your roster to elevate them as a whole. But instead, it's just going to be a strict thing because Saudi Arabia threw him some millions of dollars. So he's just going to do this and, negate any possible stories or mid-card women's title or opportunity to elevate other talent. He sold out for some cash. This guy is being, now appears as a wimp, and that's just what I needed to say before we get into the reasons why Rock versus Roman versus Cody is ridiculous. Now let's get into it. Now the first reason this is ridiculous is because of the simple question, why? Why are we doing this? Roman Reigns and The Rock, this match has been wanted by fans for many, many years, and it almost happened at WrestleMania 39. It was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 40, but Triple H bent the knee to all the internet fans and the people in the crowd chanting, "We want Cody, we want Cody." You still want Cody, or do you want the OTC? You still want Cody as champion, or do you want the final boss? Exactly. Now you want Roman, and now you want The Rock. The same people that wanted "We want Cody" now want The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. They want Roman as champ. They want the OTC as champ. They want The Rock as champ. All this other stuff. You see how things change? The fans are fickle. And on top of that, the fans simply don't know what they're talking about. You have to do what is best for business. The Rock and Roman Reigns, we've seen the leaks already in the reports. The WrestleMania 41 front row tickets are rumored to be above $30,000 because people are in anticipation to see The Rock, to see Roman Reigns on a grand stage like WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And they're also excited to see John Cena's final Mania match as well. This is what puts butts in seats. And you can say what you want about Vince McMahon, but when it came to the top guys in the company, this dude knew how to give us the biggest money matches possible. And I don't really think Triple H is concerned with doing that. He's just concerned to appeasing the fans rather than appeasing the money, when you can really just do both. And I know what you're thinking, oh, well, you don't care about the fans, blah, blah, blah. No, I just recognize that Cody's title reign is garbage, and for the majority of his career, he's been a mid-carder / undercarder / jobber for most of it. So you could have easily sacrificed the epicness that was Mania 41 for a moment where Roman retained his title, beat The Rock, or even lost to The Rock, and you could have had Roman continue on as champ potentially and feud with people like AJ Styles, Sheamus, Gunther, Bobby Lashley when he was still in the company, etc. You could have still done that. You could have had him feud with Drew McIntyre again, or even CM Punk, Rollins. You had a litany of people he could have still gone through, right? So you didn't have to give the title to Cody. Obviously, Cody winning the title, in my opinion, it was probably, looking back on it, I don't know, but for the specific moment that they did it, it was an amazing choice because it made for one of the epic and most insane, memorable moments in professional wrestling history. However, sometimes you do have to make sacrifices and put money and, fan interest at the top of the list. Vince McMahon did that sometimes with the big name matches where the match is always 5-star memorable classics. No, but did they make a lot of money? Yes. Did they please fans sometimes? Absolutely. Rock and Roman appeases both the fans who want the match, and it's going to make you a ton of money. But instead of that, you do things like making Cody be in the main event of Mania 40 and having him win the WWE Championship off of Roman Reigns when it could have been Rock versus Roman in Philly, Mania 40, Night 2. That's all you had to do. And instead, this is what we get, man. This is ridiculous. This dude bends the knee whenever there's any type of inconvenience or the fans want something or this and that. Stop it. Do what's best for business, and that will also give the fans the best bang for their buck. Even though I really like WrestleMania 40, and I thought it was awesome. I was there. WrestleMania 40 was epic. At some point, we have to acknowledge the fact, though, no pun intended, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge the OTC, no pun intended, but you have to acknowledge the money aspect there, the big match prospect, and the fact that your best and, most entertaining storyline that you can put forward is Rock and Roman Reigns in the build-up to Mania 41. And the second reason I think this story is stupid is because it is boring. How many times are we going to drag Cody Rhodes into the Bloodline-related feuds? We understand his title reign is not good and that it's getting extremely boring, so they have to consistently, involve him with something with the Bloodline or with Roman Reigns or with The Rock. I get all of that, but that's not our problem. Book Cody Rhodes better and have him be in meaningful, engaging feuds like one with Kevin Owens potentially, where you build that up to Crown Jewel. But guess what? We're not going to do that because we're going to give Cody versus Gunther for nothing. Then we're also not going to give you Cody versus Orton for some reason. We're prolonging that into 2025 or 2026, whenever. It's nonsense. Give Cody engaging in good feuds and actually start showing some respect to your WWE champion. And maybe when you do that, you have time for Cody to be an engaging in great feuds as WWE champion while also giving us fans what we want with Roman versus Rock. When Triple H doesn't book things well, his fallback is always the Bloodline or Roman Reigns, because that's one thing that he is helping to book correctly, but the story is really ran by Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns and the Usos, let's be honest. And the third and last reason, and this is kind of 3 and 4 reasons in a sense, this is basically the deal. This is happening in Las Vegas. This is Mania 41. Everyone is expecting this to be even bigger than last year's WrestleMania was after all those cameos, those epic moments, that insanity. We want those vibes again. In order to get those vibes or get something close to those vibes or exceed those vibes, you need to put the biggest match forward. And this is part 4 of the reasons. The Rock, we don't know how many matches he has left. I personally think he probably has like 3 matches left if you're working him in tag matches, because in tag matches like War Games, for example, he can sit in the cage and wait the whole time and then come in as a last entrant and only have to really do stuff in the ring for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and that way you're not working him as much and he's not really going to be asked to do a lot in the ring, right? So you're kind of giving him a pass with those matches. Or if it's a 3v3 or a 2v2, he also kind of gets a pass because there's 4 people in the ring, so you don't have to do everything yourself. You get what I'm saying? That type of stuff works. But for 1v1 big match scenarios with The Rock, what do we have left? He maybe has 1 or 2 matches when it comes to that type of scenario. And we need to get that one match that we've all been asking for years, which is Roman versus Rock. You can tie in so many different things with this story. And this is a 5th reason as well this should happen, because you have to do this now. You don't know if The Rock could get injured with his age. You don't know if something else could happen, outside of the ring. He may get hurt while filming a movie, whatever. He needs to get this match done now and on a big, massive stage like Las Vegas for WrestleMania. This is the time, this is the moment, and all the different stories that you can put into this. This is a decade's worth of story you can build, all the way since Royal Rumble back in 2015. You can bring back elements from that all the way to now. Roman Reigns going from being the most hated big guy, big superstar in the company, to now being the most loved superstar in the company. The Rock going from being loved by fans to hated for what happened with Cody, and then loved again for the final boss. All of that different stuff that can contribute to this storyline, along with it being involved with the Bloodline, which is easily the greatest story of WWE in this generation, and one of the best WWE stories and professional wrestling stories ever. You tie all that into one big title match, one big story around the Bloodline and Rock and Roman, and you're telling me that you're going to sacrifice all of that with those two just to add in Cody Rhodes to the feud unnecessarily? It's ridiculous. So long story short, we need to be honest with ourselves and realize that Cody Rhodes is a jobber, and he should not be in a match with Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. That is ridiculous. Do the biggest money match that you can do possible and get over yourself, Triple H. Okay, get over yourself. Wake up and stop smelling the roses from Twitter and these random fans across the world. The Rock and Roman is your main event for WrestleMania 41, and it's that simple. You want to make money? You got it. You want to appease most of the fan base? You got that. You want to put on an epic, unforgettable moment at WrestleMania 41? You got that too. And do you want to put on the biggest WrestleMania match you've probably had in probably a decade or two at this point? This is the match that you do. At the end of the day, We don't know what WWE is going to end up doing with Roman and Rock and with Cody at WrestleMania, but if they're smart, we should be getting Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 41 for either the WWE title or just a match in general. Either way, it will be epic. It will be awesome. And the in-ring work, I know you guys are like, oh, well, The Rock's old, Roman's wrestling style, it's not going to compat with the two. Just trust me. You make that match Bloodline rules and put a couple cool spots in, like they're using each other's moves, using each other's finishers. You have the in-ring storytelling as well, the star power included. You're going to end up loving that match if it's booked correctly, and you know it. So that's what I think about Roman Reigns versus The Rock should be main eventing WrestleMania 41, but WWE has these dumb ideas of Cody versus Rock versus Roman, which is nonsensical. Let me know what you think of WWE's ideas to do something like Cody versus Rock versus Roman, and what you think about a potential Rock versus Roman main event. And as always, I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Deuces. I gotta stop saying that, bro. I gotta go back to the usual. Peace out, y'all. Have a good day, though. Peace out.